Committee's investigation into the Biden family influence peddling is heating up. Chairman James Comer now says that up to 7 members of the Biden family may have been involved in these foreign business deals and getting paid. This is the Treasury Department finally gives the panel access to the suspicious activity reports related to the first family. Joining me right now is the man himself investigating this. He is in charge, Kentucky Congressman, Chairman of the House Oversight Committee. Mr. Chairman, thanks very much. James Comer is here. Good to see you, sir.
Good morning.
So can you confirm you're getting these SARs, these suspicious activity reports then?
Yes, we're getting them, Maria. Everything's moving in the right direction. The reason we're getting information now is we have evidence, something that my colleague on the Democrat side of the aisle on the Oversight Committee, Jamie Raskins, isn't familiar with. We have evidence that shows a concerning pattern by the Biden family members to get suspicious amounts of money from our adversaries around the world. So for forever, the reason that Treasury was blocking us and the reason that other banks were blocking us from information is because the White House was saying it wasn't true. This is a witch hunt. The Republicans are just digging. Now we have evidence, and I think our quest to receive information is going to be much easier moving forward.
So tell me about this wire. According to these bank documents that you've already obtained, Rob Walker, who was a Biden family business associate in his company, Robinson Walker, received a $3 million wire from a Chinese energy company 2 months after Joe Biden left the vice presidency. Then what happened?
Well, the very next day, he started sending wires to members of the Biden family. And there are 3 members of the Biden family who received payments from the Robinson Walker account. Now, the question I have is, what were those payments for? The money came from China. We've all heard that it was because they were investing in an American energy company, but there's no company there, Maria. It looks to me like, according to the bank transactions, that China sent money to that Rob Walker, and then Rob Walker turned around the very next day and wired it to the Biden family. So there were 3 different members of the Biden family that received payments on this particular transaction, including one member that's never before been mentioned in any of the Biden family influence peddling schemes. So what we're finding out, Maria, is this Biden family business scheme involved a lot of members of the Biden family, none of whom had any experience in Chinese energy or Ukrainian energy deals.
So do we know, I mean, you're right, $3 million for what? So do we know if the then sitting vice president or the administration in any way changed rules, allowed this Chinese company to acquire energy assets in the United States? Were they opening doors, creating a path for it to get inside the gates of America? What was the money for?
That's a great question, and that's what we're investigating. But what we've heard from one of the former business associates is that the goal for China was to use the Bidens to be able to get their foot in the door on the American energy industry, to be able to help China not just buy liquefied natural gas, but also to buy ownership in the drillers for natural gas, as well as, get this, Maria, to buy farmland. So all the things that Americans are outraged over with China, the one thing that there's bipartisan support in Congress for is to stand up to China. We find that the Biden family was the one involved in trying to help China get their foot in the door in our American energy industry and to buy farmland. So this is very concerning. This is why we've launched this investigation 2.5 months ago. This is why this is a priority for the House Oversight Committee. We finally have evidence. The evidence that we have will allow us to obtain more evidence. So there are about 12 or 13 transactions that we're familiar with. So we're going to be requesting more bank records. We've got bank records on one transaction, which led to our ability to obtain the bank violations, the suspicious activity report. That's what Treasury's blocked us from forever. So we're making a lot of progress in this investigation, and it doesn't look good for the Biden family.
What's your timing here?
I'm an impatient guy, Maria. I wish that we could get it all today, but I think you see we've obtained more information than the White House ever dreamed we would obtain, and we're doing this in a very calculated, very patient approach. But like I said, we got information from one bank I think you'll see in the next few days we're going to get information from another bank. We're going to continue that process. I've been very transparent about this investigation from day one.
Yeah.
We're following the money, and that's what we're doing. We're following the money, and the money, it appears, is going to lead to the Biden family.
That's just extraordinary that as the then vice president and his family are helping China access energy in America, they're shutting off that access to America. They want to go this climate change agenda and pressure banks to not lend to oil companies, and yet they're opening up the floodgates to China.
Yeah, a lot of the strange decisions that Joe Biden has made that put America last and China first, they may be explained by some of these transactions. And remember, we just have our hands on one transaction. We believe that there are many, many more transactions, and we'll get those bank records. I've said that from day one.
Yes,
when the White House, I always said we will get those bank records.